Hi there, I'm Logan Medish, and this is High Caliber History. John Moses Browning was overrated. What? How dare you disparage the name of John Moses Browning? No, cool your jets though, because the opinion is not mine. It's actually Browning's own opinion. Yes, that's right. John Moses Browning thought the world of John Douglas Pedersen, even telling Major General Julian Hatcher, quote, "Pedersen was the greatest gun designer in the world." When you look at Pedersen's career and the time frame in which Browning made his claim, it becomes much easier to see how he could have come to that conclusion. Born in 1855, Browning was 26 years older than Pedersen, who was born in 1881. And because of their age difference, Pedersen was likely seen by Browning as part of the next generation of great gunsmiths when he bestowed such kind words upon him in the early 20th century. In many ways, the two men's careers mirrored one another. At the very least, Browning's career afforded Pedersen a sturdy pair of shoulders on which to stand. Both men spent substantial portions of their careers designing arms for one specific company. For Browning, it was Winchester. For Pedersen, it was Remington. Like Browning, Pedersen too spent a good bit of his time developing arms for the military. Best known for the Pedersen device, which turned the bolt-action Springfield Model 1903 rifle into a semi-automatic that fired pistol-caliber cartridges, his device was slated to be pushed into service for the spring 1919 offensive in World War I. What the pistol cartridges lacked in power compared to the rifle cartridges, they more than made up for in terms of quantity and capacity. Simple math proved that a soldier could fire far more shots in a shorter period of time with the semi-automatic Pedersen device than they could with the standard bolt-action M1903. With the armistice taking place on November 11, 1918, the 1919 offensive never came and the device never saw service. The devices sat as surplus before being destroyed to prevent the design from falling into the hands of one of America's enemies. Pedersen also designed a handgun to compete with the newly adopted Browning-designed Colt Model 1911. Tested by both the U.S. Army and Navy, it was reviewed favorably, but was never adopted. The Army dismissed it because arms factories had already been tooled up for a large 1911 contract. The Navy's interest in Pedersen's pistol design stemmed from a lack of 1911 availability, so to retool a factory for yet another different design would have only further exacerbated the already strained 1911 supply chain. Pedersen also submitted a gun to compete in the trials for the M1903's replacement rifle. Officially known as the T1E3 rifle, Pedersen's entry was a toggle-lock design that fired rounds in his own .276 Pedersen caliber. It ultimately lost the rifle trials to a design by John Canchis Garand. After the M1's adoption, Pedersen made less than 20 copycat arms based on Garand's design, known as the GX and GY rifles. During World War II, the partnership of Irwin Pedersen produced 3,500 M1 carbines before the remainder of the contract was shifted to Saginaw. And so, Pedersen's desire for military contracts and military arms of any kind never came to fruition. Pedersen and Browning were not always friendly rivals. In one instance, the two men designed a shotgun together. Introduced in 1921, they completed the design for a 20-gauge pump-action shotgun. The success of that design led to three other wildly successful shotguns: the Ithaca Model 37, the Remington Model 31, and the Browning BPS. The two gunsmiths who had so much in common also had a commonality related to their deaths. Both men died of heart disease, specifically heart failure for Browning and a heart attack for Pedersen. Browning died in 1926 at the age of 71, Pedersen at the age of 70 in 1951. The former had more than 100 arms-related patents to his name, while the latter had 69. No slouch, to be sure. John Pedersen may not be as widely known as John Browning, but that doesn't make his accomplishments to the arms industry any less impressive. To have Browning call him the greatest gun designer in the world is, without a doubt, the highest praise an arms designer could receive. If Browning thought he was the best, well, then that's good enough for me. In my mind, that settles it. After all, I'm not going to argue with a man whose middle name was Moses. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of High Caliber History. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you're subscribed. Please leave me some comments and likes, and share this video with someone you think will enjoy it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you right here on the next episode.